So, this new stand thing that I got a while ago from my cousin. Finally using it, anyways, got my Static X shirt here, one of the concerts. But anyways, so I started being really obsessed and watching pro wrestling, WWE and all that in late 2008. Sure, I'd seen it occasionally before then, and we would play the SmackDown games on PS1 all the time when I was growing up. But I didn't actually start consistently watching till late 2008. And you know, my favorites at the time were like Chris Jericho and Batista and CM Punk and stuff. But John Cena was the guy when I first started watching. And so I just thought I would review his last match and the show of his last match. And I really like all the up and comers that they had, the NXT people, because I don't watch NXT. Um, like that they had them in matches. Oba Femi, he's going to be a big deal when they bring him out to the main roster. He reminds me a lot of like old powerhouses like the Barbarian and the Warlord from the 80s. And then even like Batista from when I first started watching live. He's going to be a big deal. And then I really liked that they had the current TNA X Division champion in a tag team match against the first X Division TNA X Division champion, AJ Styles. AJ's always been one of my favorites. And then that Sol Ruka girl was really insane. I don't think we've really had like a high flying woman's wrestler in a long time. Like where most of their offense is high flying, so that'll be cool when she gets called up too. But anyways, about his last match in retirement, John Cena's. Um, it's crazy because I remember seeing him at a house show in like 2009. I don't know if I've told the story before, but yeah, the main event was Big Show and Randy Orton versus Batista and John Cena. Batista barely did anything in the match. And Randy Orton was almost as tall as Big Show, which is insane because that does not come across like that on TV. But there were so many people. Everyone loved John Cena there. When we were like checking in the hotel there before we went to the thing, the show, there was literally a lady that's literally traveled across states just to see John Cena, like a lady and her family and her kids. He is definitely a big draw, as they say, a big money maker. But the match itself was great. I'm glad that they paired him up with Gunther. Gunther's like a modern day Bret Hart, where he doesn't do anything flashy, but everything he does is excellent. He basically does everything perfect that he does do. So, you're not going to see him do any flips and stuff, but he was a really good bad guy, really good heel. Perfect pair with John Cena. And then, of course, spoilers, if you want to know, if you haven't seen it yet, click off the video. But it's the perfect ending to his thing is that he finally taps out. He hasn't tapped out in over 20 years ever since he became the main guy in WWE. And so that was pretty much the perfect ending. I know I'm sure some people were upset about that, but I thought it was the perfect ending. It was finally the end of his career. He finally taps out. Um, I did find it funny that Triple H had to be the last one in the ring with him to give him a hug or by the ring, whatever, on the ropes. And the crowd started booing him. It's pretty funny. It has been pretty insufferable that ever since Triple H has been like the main one of the main people behind the scenes, like booking everything, that he always feels like he has to come out at big moments, like at the start of big shows like WrestleMania SummerSlam, or like this at the end of John Cena's retirement. It's like if he didn't have heart problems, he'd definitely still be like wrestling at every WrestleMania. Um, um, he'd probably try to beat John Cena's world record of or world championship record of 17, which there is some controversy with that. Some people say Ric Flair actually had 22 world championships, but I guess it depends on which ones you count as legitimately happening. I guess, which is kind of an oxymoron because it's pro wrestling, but you know what I mean. There's just some that weren't counted for various controversies and stuff. But anyways, yeah, John Cena, one of the greatest to ever do it. Uh, yeah, I mean, he just literally transcended pop culture as an actor now. There was always all the memes about you can't see him and he's invisible and all that, and the his name is John Cena meme that came from like that one prank call thing. So yeah, cheers to a career, excellent career. Yeah, probably the best retirement send off I've ever seen. Because even people like Undertaker, he just kind of like kept coming back for matches. He kept being like, "Oh, one more match, one more match." Then finally, he just kind of rode off in the sunset. He didn't really get a big send off, you know, with the Boneyard match. Um, and even that's more than most wrestlers get. Most wrestlers just vanish. Like Mark Henry, he just stopped wrestling. Like Mark Henry was in attendance tonight, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he just stopped wrestling." So it's basically the most perfect retirement you can get. So, you know, that's my opinions of it. So, yeah, man.